Dopamine, Oxytocin, and the Holy, the Neurochemistry of Prayer. Namaste, and welcome back to Meditation and Prayer. I am Vikram Singh Basaati. What if prayer feels good for a scientific reason? The peace, the connection, the sense of being held, it's not just spiritual, it's neurochemical. Your brain releases a cocktail of molecules that heal, bond, and motivate you. Mystics spoke of divine ecstasy. They described overwhelming love and profound connection. Today, neuroscience reveals the biological machinery behind these experiences. The same neural circuits that fire during romantic love and social bonding also ignite during prayer, meditation, and awe. Today, we explore the neurochemistry of the holy. We walk through fMRI studies showing that prayer activates the brain's reward centers, releasing oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and dopamine, the motivation molecule. This is the science of grace. This is the biology of the sacred. Let's start with dopamine. It's the molecule of motivation, reward, and anticipation. It makes you feel alive, focused, and driven. Prayer is a powerful trigger. A landmark University of Utah study subjected participants to prayer and spiritual stimuli while measuring brain activity with fMRI. When participants reported feeling the Spirit, specific reward centers lit up. The ventral striatum and nucleus accumbens, the brain's pleasure hubs, activated. These are the same areas triggered by romantic love and euphoric states. Lead researcher Michael Ferguson noted that spiritual fulfillment provides a hit of neural dopamine, similar to other deeply satisfying experiences. But unlike substances that hijack the reward system, spiritual rewards require higher thought, abstract thinking about meaning and connection. Prayer promotes lasting well-being rather than addiction. Dopamine gives you the drive to pray again. It reinforces the practice. After meaningful prayer, you feel energized and hopeful. Your brain rewards you for connecting to something greater. But dopamine is only half the story. The other half is oxytocin. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It's released during childbirth, breastfeeding, and intimate connection. It fosters trust, empathy, and safety. It's the biological glue of relationships. And prayer releases it too. Research shows that group rituals and devotional practices stimulate oxytocin release, enhancing social bonding and well-being. When you pray with others, when you surrender to a higher power, your brain releases oxytocin. You feel connected, held, and safe. Dr. Andrew Newberg, a pioneer in neurotheology, found that spiritually awakened individuals often exhibit increased baseline oxytocin levels. This is a marker of permanent change, a shift toward greater empathy and interconnectedness. The self becomes less rigid, the world feels more connected. Dopamine motivates you to seek the divine. Oxytocin makes you feel connected once you find it. In the Mormon study, the most effective stimuli for feeling the Spirit were images of Jesus, families, and religious leaders. Deeply relational. This is why oxytocin is so central. Prayer isn't just belief, it's relationship. Feeling loved, accepted, and part of something larger. Other studies show prayer activates the medial prefrontal cortex and precuneus regions associated with social cognition. We relate to God as we relate to people. Oxytocin is the chemical signature of that relationship. Other neurotransmitters also play a role. Serotonin, the molecule of well-being, is elevated during meditative states. The vagus nerve also plays a role. When stimulated through prayerful breathing, it communicates with the brain to release oxytocin. This creates a virtuous cycle. Prayer stimulates the vagus nerve, which releases oxytocin, which deepens connection, which encourages more prayer. Every time you pray, you release dopamine to motivate return. You release oxytocin to bond you to your community, faith, and divine. You build a brain wired for connection, resilience, and peace. Newberg suggests changes in the brain from spiritual practice are characterized by long-lasting changes in dopaminergic and serotonergic systems, alongside increased baseline oxytocin levels, a marker of transformation. Permanent change, not temporary relief. Lasting rewiring. The spiritual traditions always insisted prayer changes you. Now we know how. It alters your neurochemistry. It builds a brain more empathetic, motivated, and peaceful. What does this mean for your practice? First, recognize the urge to pray is biological and spiritual. Dopamine says, "This is good, do it again." Don't ignore that pull. Second, connection is key. Oxytocin bonds you. Pray with others. Pray for others. Feel the connection. Third, be patient. Permanent change comes with consistent practice. Over months and years, your baseline neurochemistry shifts. You carry peace into daily life. Dr. Sarah Lazar found 8 weeks of regular meditation yielded measurable brain changes. The hippocampus grew. The amygdala shrank. The neurochemical shifts are just as profound. A preprint study reviewed neural networks of religious experience. Group rituals modulate oxytocin release, along with endogenous opioids and neuropeptide Y chemical signatures of love, trust, and belonging. When you enter a place of worship or a quiet room to pray, your brain knows what's coming. It releases dopamine in anticipation. It releases oxytocin in response. You bathe your brain in a healing cocktail. The Holy Neurochemistry Prayer. 1. Sit quietly. Close your eyes. Bring someone you love to mind. Let love fill your heart. This primes oxytocin release. 2. Extend that love to yourself. Say, "I am held. I am loved." This activates bonding circuits. 3. Extend it further. Pray for someone you struggle with. This activates empathy and releases oxytocin, reducing social pain. 4. Conclude with gratitude. Name 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude increases dopamine and serotonin. 5. Breathe deeply with each step. Extend your exhale. This stimulates the vagus nerve, amplifying the neurochemical cascade. Do this daily. Watch your motivation grow. Watch your connection deepen. Watch your brain rewire. The sages knew it. They spoke of love, devotion, and joy. They didn't know about dopamine or oxytocin, but they knew the experience. They knew prayer filled them with energy and bound them to the divine. Science confirms what they always taught. Prayer is good for you, not just spiritually, biologically. It releases molecules of motivation, bonding, and peace. It builds a brain for connection. It builds a heart for love. Thank you for joining me. I am Vikram Singh Basaati. Like, share, and subscribe to Meditation and Prayer. Let us rewire the world together, one prayer at a time. Om Shanti.